there is no escape from these, and yet desire is there to get freedom, and escape is nowhere. So in such situations, those people with right type of desire at the heart and such a punya karma that is in sanchaya stock with one, where can they go? So for them in such time, and such times are only in Kali-yuga, adverse times, Kali-yuga time, and that too beginning period only, beginning times. Afterwards Kali-yuga is a falling time, and it's a darker, and darkness getting gathered more and more. So in such times, as Krishna Bhagwan has said in Gita ji, yuge yuge sambhavami. So such a Paramatma Prakash of the exactness of Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Lord Mahavir opens out naturally through nature. And the one highly emancipated soul of past lives, yet time proper has not come for that absoluteness to open out. That time now is there where such a soul of high level gets born in these times. You see, it is not that nature has any providence or choice to make him born. No, order is there. But because of the punya of so many people and for their escape and for their release, such a instrumental aspect of the nature through the birth of such a highly emancipated soul takes place. We call it yoga bhrashta in technical words. Yoga bhrashta. Yoga means samsari yoga. And bhrashta means samsari योग से जो भ्रष्ट हो गए हैं, संसार योग से अलग है. फिर भी for the common good of so many punyashali people who desire freedom, because of their punya, such a event takes place. And Dada Bhagwan Prakash opened out 1958 on the platform of Surat in India, very crowded railway station, and there in the evening time, while changing over train towards Baroda and waiting period of 2 hours and sitting on a bench, you see, just he sits, and that time came and the covering karmic veils, very thin, very thin, were there. And Dada Bhagwan felt that now in this life we are all right now, life is nice, balanced every way. So this is enough. Good. That was anything. But this was to happen, that such an absoluteness was were to open out. And at that time, that particular time, moment came, space came where he was sitting and all these things, and what those thin karmic veils just slipped from over this soul within. And soul, absolute, infinite, knowing, seeing power opened out. The way a 1000-watt bulb is there and a pot is put over it, and if pot is taken away, the 1000-watt bulb light will spread in the room and it will enlighten the whole room. Likewise, the karmic, whatever coverings were there, they slipped away, and that pure soul, knowing, seeing light, you see, it is not like this light. It opened out. And in that light, whole Brahmand, in this pind, all mysteries opened out. Yesterday we talked about pind and Brahmand. So all the mysteries, universal mysteries opened out, and basic mystery of the universe is the crux as to how actions are done. Who does these actions? And the very world which is full of actions and activities by doership all around, everywhere, exactly what is the factual position as to the operation of these activities? Is it anybody's choice, or is it due to some power that it gets done? All these things. Is it mystery or not? It's great mystery. And all saints and sages were after this only, but in those right times. afterwards, in the posterity, even such saints, sages, sadhus, akhadas may be there, they are bound to be there. It never stops. But they are mere signs of the past, nothing more. They are footprints in the sands of time. Gradually. And Kali Yuga, powerful forces have terrific effect on it. It has got a very shining like thing, otherwise there is nothing left in that. You follow? It is not that basic principles are wrong, but it is the time factor that is at play, and because of which the originality and the intent is now washed away. Understand? It is like husks, rice husk, rice gone. If we pound the rice husk, what result do you get? Husks only. Rice is not there. If you churn the sand, how much oil can you get? Not a little, not a drop. And if you put some sour lemon or curd into the water, how much curd can you get? No? But where is the milk that you can get curd? You see? And if milk is there, you put there and you sleep nicely, and guests are coming in the morning, we want your Srikhand, nice prepared. So you get up in the morning and the curd is prepared. Good. How it is done? And that curd gets prepared out of water or out of milk part? No milk. Not water part? Water part? Water part cannot get formed into curd. It is there in the curd. Only milk part gets got curd. And the water is there. Saints and ages, why for they are struggling all these things? Just to understand this only. That in this very body, that milk part and water part. You see? What is the water part of the body? Ananthan? How many percent?
80, over 80%.
Over 80%?
Over 90.
90, over 90. Yes. So we are just flowing in the water. Sheshanaga, see, Vishnu Bhagwan. Sheshaya. और साउथ में है ना भगवान की in every temple. So fourth step is for the householder, where the realization takes place, and there in such adverse times there has to be an instrumental aspect of a Gnani. Gnani is this important. Gnani who is here just like us as a householder state, and yet with such a opened out state, divinity, that his very body is instrument, mere instrument. In the inner state, such a state that has opened out, that inner divine light, the grace of that light, Paramatma grace, that gets showered on you, and whatever bonding forces which are there, which does not allow you to experience your freedom, to taste your freedom, those forces are burnt out because of the grace, and out of grace, out of the verbal, experimental setup, the papas and karmas get burned out. The way Krishna Bhagwan has said in Gita, only a Gnani can burn out all the papas and karmas completely. By Gnanagni, Gnani. Unless there is fire, nothing will get burnt out. So for our good in our life to be done away with the evil effects, we get so many yagnas and havans performed, right? that is for relative life. But for release, there is a different yagna. It is not like that. It is adhyatmic yagna. Adhyatmic. And the yagnas where we perform are adhibhautik in these times. And in Dwapar Yuga, havans that were performed were kings and royals of the order of Adhidaivik and very rich people. They used to quite perform them because they are very costly. It's very, very costly. Each one yagna. Only royalty can do that, and they have vast patronage and all that, and everybody who wants to take benefit, they can take like that. Or rich persons, very highly rich person like that. Adhidaivik. But in these times it is not there, because they gods, devas are not willing to come over here to taste the smelly odor of these times. Be smelly, so that our noses will turn up. Such is the odor on this world. But we have to nullify the effect by spraying scents. What to do? Bodies also have become like that. In old times, there were ladies in India, they emanated fragrance. Yes, Padmini प्रकार की स्त्रियां जो होती थी, उससे वो फ्रेग्रेंसफुल odor emanate होती थी in this time. Various karma. This is nothing but the effects of karma only. Karma. You see. So, fourth state is of householder, where because of Gnani's grace, one can realize one's own godly state, experience it, taste it, and then live the life with that vision opened out, godly vision, whole in a Jivan Mukta Dasha. That will be to you. Ananthan, you ask Ananthan, what can you pay? Or you have got your own fees and generated account. Dakshina, you will be able to give me something or no? For the two children?
Whatever we own is yours.
Ananthan, you are at a great loss, Ananthan. So you see, what we understood as profit in life, that means our believed happiness after which we are in the life all the time, is actually a losing proposition in the life. But nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. And here, whole so valuable life is lost for nothing. For everything that is supposed to be everything, and yet it is nothing. That is the how. Life value has to be understood, and life should not get whiled away. Not so. So that will be to happen to you. Before you are coming here, we have told Ananthan that you are going to come here. He must have told you. And kids also will come.
And the time comes to come.
Timing is the basic. Gnani Purush cannot do anything. Timing, that is nature, and all these things. So this is time. So fourth stage is that. After that, fifth step is for the householders again. So fourth and fifth are householder steps for evolvement and development further and further. And sixth step onwards, these saints and sages renouncer steps from sixth onwards. If householder renounces house and relations and becomes a sadhu, then immediately he steps into the sixth step by vyavahar. But one who is realized and then he steps, then he is again with a realized state, he is a real sadhu. in the language of God, real sadhu. Otherwise, in the language of the world, he is sadhu or human. Understand? So that is sixth step, very high. But the householder also can touch the sixth step and experience the seventh also. Seventh step is the step of the experience, stability of the experience. That is seventh step. Is a very important step. That is the central point amongst all the 14 steps. Center. And after that, effortless, it goes further and further. Two scales. For these scales to come to balance, 1 to 100, up to 50, effort is required. Purusharth, effort means Purusharth. And as soon that crux is coming, and then automatically balance comes up after 50. Up to 50 Purusharth. Do you follow? But after realization, that is Ajna Dharma, that's all. Very effortless. Very effortless. On the contrary, every function of life will be wonderful. All doctors who have realized, they have experienced this with their patients and in their practice all around everywhere. When Dr. Purnima in California, internist, and from 1988 she has been attending to us, all this thing. She got realized by Dada Bhagwan, see. And after Dada Bhagwan, just in 1988, he saw somewhat Dada Bhagwan in us. But then, in a period of 2-3 years, she was completely convinced about it. Totally convinced. And then, and recently, 3-4 years, when we go to California, she is keeping our check and everything, all record is doing. So if some tests, etc. are to be taken regular, periodical, then we tell, look here, Dr. Purnima, when we'll come to you on this day. No, Dada, you don't come. You see, on Saturday, I'll find some arrangement and I will come. But most of the times I won't allow her to come. Because a very busy person. And after this Gnani, she is so much sought after, particularly by elderly patients. Never be, does not get time at all. Very busy. That Indian lady, sari with sari. So then 3, 4, 5 times she experienced this. That if against my saying no, she would like to come to me personally and pass 2-3 hours in satsang. Say, please, Kanudadaji, please let me come this time. I am going to arrange. I go, okay, try. But see that your service should not get me. So she would pray to Dada Bhagwan. Hey Dada Bhagwan, I am going to Lancaster. It is a 3 miles drive. So coming, going will take at least 8 hours, 9 hours. So the beeper though I am taking with me, but it should not beep at all till I return.
Patient to Sarah.
બધું સારું હોય અને બીપર ના વાગે. આ 5 experience. It is very rare. For doctors it is very rare. Really. So these are the experiences. And 7th step is critical, then it goes further. But here, in these times, stepless mark, that means lift mark, that you experience your 12th step experience, which sages and saints are after leaving all relations, and yet they have not achieved. That you get here. 12th step. Experience, real experience is there. So we make you taste that experience. So Dada Bhagwan's grace through this medium gets showered on you, and all papas and karmas and burnt, separating out you, totally separate from the body, mind, speech, you as purest, pure soul, and then putting the line of demarcation between the two, and that you remain together, and you go back to house, and all household functions and everything, they go on normally. Nobody will know, but it will be ideally to be done and more efficient. You see, more efficient and effortless. So there, though by Vyavahar you are the 4th step because you are householder. By experience you are the 12th step. So you are tested. So Jivan Mukta Dasa has started. And for that Dasa to develop further step by step further and to complete the whole thing, what saints and sages complete and yet they do not achieve this result, you easily get it. So only for that purpose, living in the house and the household functions and all responsibilities with the responsibilities, how to pass through that and our own taste getting more and more developed. We are giving you 5 sentences, that's all. Just 5 Yagnas we call it, dictates. Simple, very simple. And that will be making you very powerful in your studies. You see, others will not realize that. Results will tell that. Results will indicate, but others cannot realize. You see, basic result will be inside your own experience and then all outside, exterior things. Umaben, you understand? Steps are like that. 12th step. And 13th step is the absolute. But in this Kali Yuga, it is not possible. Dada Bhagwan does that step. He experienced that state of absoluteness open out in the live body here. But in this Kali Yuga, this body's competency not being to that extent that it can digest that experience, this body itself. Because of that, it got positioned 4 degrees less than 360 degrees. At 356 it got positioned on the body. But inside 360 degrees full moon light opened up. That is Dada Bhagwan. So photo what you see is not the, is 356 degrees Gnani and inside 360 degrees Dada Bhagwan. And the Simandar Swami Bhagwan there you see here is full moon 360 degrees with the body, Sarvagna. And that state has seedling having put, it will open out. It is the basic right of everybody. Do you understand? Repeat. Repeat.
Basic right of everyone.
Do you understand? Not knowing this right, people are in exercising the rights which are not theirs. See, what a tragedy of life. So 13th is that. So Dada's 12th, it is 4 subdivisions. First division, experience that you taste. Second division is the experience of the Dada Bhagwan and also ours, closely akin to that. We cannot claim that we are Dada Bhagwan, you see, but our experience is that, you see. And then 12th, third division is very close to 13th, and there in a small period of hours or at best 1 hour, immediately it touches 13th and observe this. You understand? If this body is competent, it can do in 1 hour. But this experience, you will be in the same level, and then with Agnya, you will be coming up and testing that. And 14th is after the absoluteness getting opened out in the live body, where the live body balanced lifespan getting over, release from the body totally and perpetually as a pure soul, Siddha Dasha, and getting positioned through 2 elements, motion and inertia. Motion and inertia there. Just above the universe, where only space is there. Only space and Siddha Atmas, Siddha Lok. You see, there is no matter, no time, no motion, no inertia, just space. And to understand Atma at best, in the subtlety that is of Atmas, only simile is with the space, because space is also subtle. So soul is space-like. Element, basic element wise, space element and soul, Siddhatmas, they are there. And Siddhatmas, space very trait, accommodating power, infinite accommodating power. So Siddhatma is also there, and Atma also has got infinite accommodating power. Infinite. You see? So all these Siddhalokas, they are there, infinite of them. Understand? You see? And our ultimate goal is that, and that we will taste here. Their blissful state will taste here. You follow? And it will open out. You see? So 14th step and over. That is 14th step. બસ હવે આ ચાલુ કરો. આ તો રહી ગયા કાગળિયા બધા. જલ્દી પતાવી દઈએ થોડે થોડે. બપોર રાખીશું? બપોર રાખો આ બધા. તમારું આમનું ભારતીબેનનું પતાવી દઈએ જરાક. તમે અક્રમ વિજ્ઞાન સમજી લીધું? પછી વ્યવસ્થિત શક્તિ એટલે શું એ બપોરે સમજાવી દઈશું. અમે આજ્ઞા તમને કોઈ વખતે વાત કરશું તારે. હા, અને અમે ઘણું ખરું કાલે અમે રાખશું આમને માટે, પણ એ મારે થોડુંક આપણા બધા માટે રાખવાનું છે અને છોકરાઓ માટે. ત્યારે તમે રિપીટ કરી લેજો. દેટ્સ ઓલ. તે વખત બધું કરી દઈશું. બસ 3 છે ને. શુદ્ધાત્મા લક્ષણો ગુણો ડિટેલમાં વર્ણવો એ કાલે એમને કરી લીધું. અને પરમાણુ શાના શાના બનેલા એક એ બધું થઈ ગયું. ઘણી વાતો થઈ. સમજાયું ને? હા, ચાલો બપોર રાખશું. આ ક્યાં રાખશો? મારી પાસે રાખે. હા, સાચવી રાખજો, સાચવી રાખજો. હા, ચાલો અમિત સાહેબ થોડું. હાઉ શુડ યુ રિએક્ટ વેન યુ આર એટેક્ડ? વેલ, when you are attacked, how you should react means, if you have got strength, without getting afraid, you try to defend, resist, without being afraid. You see, if you stand. Verbally attack, the question attack.
Verbal attack. When somebody
Amar, what do you mean by attacked?
it's same. His question.
No, this is Amar.
But their question.
This is Ram's.
First 2 questions are his.
But this is also Ram.
Yeah.
Oh, the 2. Okay. That you said.
When you
Oh.
like in an argument.
Argument. In argument, you see, if you get hurt and the opposite one is of negative attitude, then gradually you slip out. And if one is listening type and listening, hey, you can say in a regular tone that why you are doing like this, what I have done, tell me what is my fault, mistake, that's all. But you should not counter-attack. You should not counter-attack. That is the basic principle. You see, very attack is the initiation of karma. You see, that is the basic principle. So now with this realization, you are never attacking type, never. Even in sleep or awake, never. Because opinion wise, now your opinion is totally changed as Shuddhatma. And with Shuddhatma opinion and belief and knowledge, you see, you believe, you know in everybody as Shuddhatma. Because Shuddhatma cannot attack. You see, that is all. Where does ego come from? Well, ego actually is nothing, not coming from anything, but basically there has to be the root from where it comes. So ego comes from just belief. Belief. Do you follow? Beliefs.
See, but when does that belief start forming? Because isn't there a part where we start evolving from like one cell to...
Sure. Well, for starting formation of belief is different, and to believe is different. You see, formation takes place after the believing is there persistently, over and over, and then that formation process comes. But the very belief, to believe, is the basic root cause of the egoism, and that gets developed. You see, so out of belief, one believes oneself to be such and such, and out of the belief, then egoism and all this thing and opinion immediately come. You see, so basically is the belief, wrong belief. What belief? So wrong belief is the root cause of egoism. Do you understand?
I have a question. How can beliefs be wrong because beliefs are basically opinions, aren't they?
Basically opinion.
Yeah.
No, wrong in the sense that it is transitory and temporary and vanishing type. If belief is a belief with conviction and resolution and lasting, if it is not lasting, then definitely it is wrong. It is misplaced belief. You just understand? That is the way. And wrong belief means to believe oneself to be one what one is not. Body self is not one, and yet to believe body self as I. So imposition of I on the body self, belief wise, is the wrong belief. You see, that is the initiation and root cause. And from that, a whole plethora of all beliefs, wrong beliefs, bundles of infinite of them is there. So every individual is a bundle of all the beliefs, and present day individual is the result as a bundle of the wrong beliefs that were generated in the past. Understand?
Yeah.
So mind is nothing but a whole bundle of beliefs getting phasing out in the life all through. And in that wrong belief, again today also new beliefs get initiated. Wrong belief. Wrong beliefs are infinite. Understand?
Yeah.
And right belief is right belief. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It is singular. It is singular. That is how yesterday we called victory as a singular victory. Do you understand? And in that sense. Where does echo come from this land? Then next is 3. There is Amar now. How does the pure soul become trapped in the body? Pure soul has never become trapped in the body. But the wrong belief has got trapped itself by itself as wrong belief. And that trapped wrong belief is migrating from life to life. And because that belief is in the very presence of the soul, without the presence of the soul, Pavan, nothing can happen. Do you understand? In the very presence. And therefore, being in the presence of the soul, and soul and matter are together all the time. In this whole universe, you can look at nowhere can you find soul without body. No. Do you understand? Nowhere. Except Siddhalok, where there is no matter, no time function, no motion, no state, just Siddhalok, infinite bliss, full state, with infinite knowing, seeing powers, absolutely opened out. You see? And all other power. But they are as souls only, pure soul, nothing. So in the whole universe, you cannot find only soul without body, nor a body without soul. Only matter you cannot find, nor only soul you can. Both are in mixture form, all the time together, continuous, circle-wise. Understand? So there is no question, not question of trapping, pure soul being trapped, no. Belief-wise, material body is trapped. Belief-wise. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that release is coming for the body from the belief and right belief gets established, and then I at its proper gets established and realized, and known, experienced. Do you understand? So it's a process, a complete process, and that is the initiation. The way karmas get initiated, same way release also gets initiated, and after initiation, your life is a free life that you live. You see? What are the characteristics of the pure soul? Pure soul characteristics are, tomorrow we will see, you will be sitting with us. We will come to fully know. Complete. Be very careful on that time. Tomorrow we are sitting particularly for you and all that. Others, satsang will go on here, but in sitting aside will be for the jnana. Then this Partha. Does karma in Buddhism relate to karma in Dada's science? Jalaben Chokra. Parth, what is your age? 15? Parth? Who gave you this question? Yourself? Your own? Your own? How did you come Buddhism? You know Buddhism?
Yeah, it's a prince from India that just wandered away.
A prince in India.
He was like, I feel like you told the story.
I know. Okay. Does karma in Buddhism relate to karma in Dada's science? Yes, karma theory wise okay. But in Dada's karma theory is absolutely different. There is some difference. Not only in Buddhism, but in Jainism, Vaishnava Dharma, Shiva Dharma, Shakti Dharma, any Dharma. Nowhere you can ever find anywhere karma theory in its full form. No. This is a principle. Nowhere. So it is not unique by Dada, it is perpetual from all times. But in these times, whole mysteries are opened out, and actual facets of karma and karma theory in principle and theory and practice one can understand. That is how it has evolved. You understand? Partha. Then Suraj. Raise hand. Age 13. How are karma and vyavasthit related and affect each other? You have yourself done this without asking?
કોઈને પૂછું ને જાતે બેસી
How are karma and vyavasthit related and affect each other? Well, karma in the modification state, being owned as of doership, is the generated karma which is charged karma. So because of the charged karma, somewhere that they have to be there for them to get discharged. So vyavasthit shakti, vyavasthit is that whole universal, vast computer-like arrangement in which these charged karmas get stored and deposited. You see, just as data is stored in the computer, fed in the computer, so in the computer it gets fed. It's vast natural computer. And charged karmas from computer, it gets displayed out through birth and lifelong effects completely, till whatever charge is there is getting totally discharged out. Do you follow? Yeah. That is how. And the interrelation. How do you control your bad thoughts? Vyavasthit karma is not directly related to Vyavasthit is not directly to karma, but it is a computer-like arrangement where charged karmas get stored and fed. How do you control your bad thoughts? Now, for you, tomorrow also again you will sit. I will explain you. Okay? thoughts and the controller of the thought. Do you understand? If they are one, it can never be controlled. If they are one. If one is thinking wise and one wants to control one's thought and thinking, it is never possible. You see? But if you are different realization and experience wise from the thinking process, and you as non-thinker but different, as the knower and seer, then and then only that automatically mind comes under your control as separated you. You see, there is unless you are separate. So in your supervisory state, it gets contained. Mind gets contained. You see, otherwise mind cannot be contained. What helps you stay in the 5 Yagna? Your resolve and firm conviction, come what may, Suraj, you are to live your life as per 5 Yagna. That is my firm resolve. I as Suraj, firm the resolve to live out my life as per 5 Yagnas. Dada Bhagwan, give me powers for that with the prayer. Resolution with the prayer. Then Ram Krishna, Amar is over. Evolution. This is Rani. So many? All these?
Some of those are his.
Some of them?
Yeah.
Yes, Rani. Yes, the Pavan also is there. Okay, all right. And this is me now. Okay. Number 1 is Rani's question, evolution. When does a soul start charging karmas? There is neither beginning nor end till the realization. And realization in the end of charging of karmas. That's all. A realized state. That's all. And once it stops, then whatever previously charged karmas are now in stock, they just get discharged out. That's all. No beginning, no end in a circle. Unless the circle is broken, then there is the end to the wandering, infinite wandering, and the beginning of your absoluteness started. And progressing towards infinite powers opening out. Understand? Why were people so good and straight in the time of Rama and Krishna? Why are things so bad now? It is time cycle. Time cycle is not will-like, but it's a natural thing. It's a cyclic process from eons and ages going on. So time cycle, if divided in 2 halves, and from the center, if you draw lines as segments, you see, so in this, we are in this half. Top is the Satyug and bottom is the darkest period of the Kalyug, and top is the brightest period of the Satyug. And from that it is descending, and Satyug means happiness aspects and Kalyug means unhappiness, sorrowful aspects. So here total sorrowful aspects, here total happiness aspects. So in descending state, happiness goes on getting decreasing, and when it comes to a point where it is sufficiently decreased and unhappiness surfaces, then duality starts, and then this human society order, everything starts. Humanity were there, but it was just happiness, so they did not need any community arrangement, society, rulership, anything, just like that. Only couplets, just nothing more. A couplet, giving birth, go away, pass the. It's a life, human seed, as human seed only. You see, but in full happiness. So then society starts and all. That is Treta Yuga, end of the Treta Yuga. So Dwapar Yuga is the only period where good and straightness, everything is by and large is there. But unhappiness has definitely surfaced there. And because of the surfacing of the unhappiness along with the happiness, now the time with proper circumstances available of the mind, speech, body be in order, the efforts to get balance between the unhappiness and happiness, this process starts there. You see?
Dada,
It's a time.
is it also, this is the same point I'm trying to elaborate. Is it not true that in all times, people, at that time there'll be more good people and more good things happening, but the world is always has good people and bad people?
It is subject to cyclic change, because in the central plane of the universe, human and creature forms are there. Human world and creature world, central plane, and upper planes are heavens, God abodes, and below planes are hellish abodes, and central plane abodes are human and creature abodes. You see, and in the central plane of the whole universe is very vast. There are 15 human worlds, human and creature worlds, 15. Out of them, 5 are like ours, Bharat Kshetra. They are known as Bharat Kshetra. Bharat means, our world is called whole Bharat Kshetra. It has come from the word Bharat Chakravarti. In these times, first Chakravarti was Bharat, son of Lord Rishabdev. You see, and Chakravartis are ruler of the whole world singularly, but with headquarters in India subcontinent, Chakravartis. So in that time, the Dwapar Yuga, 12 Chakravartis happened. 12. Bharat was the first, and that is how it is. And likewise, there are 5 Bharat Kshetra, 5 worlds. Another are 5 Airavat worlds. And they are also similar to us. Same human life, same society, everything same. Another of the 5 are Mahavide. In Mahavide, geophysical locational aspect of that whole, all the 5 worlds is such that that whole time cycle is Dwapar-like. There is no change of aeons and ages. Same. So continuously there. And migratory aspect can take one there also and here also, from there, here to there, always. You see? But not necessarily there one gets released. It is the Punya Praka type that gets responsible for that. You see? So, this is the Kali Yuga time. Krishna was about 5,000 years back. Krishna Bhagwan. Ram Bhagwan 11,000 years back. Mahavir 22,540 years back or something, 60, like that. And immediately after Nirvana of Lord Mahavir, just 3 months about time was left when Kali Yuga was to start, and he Nirvana. You see, and there was a planet, Bhashma Grah, and that was in ascendancy, and with full impact, negative impact, influences, that was there, and that came in there. And it was to last for 2,500 years, and all these years, there are a lot of changes in India, particularly, and more effect was on Indian subcontinent. And for others, for them, it was a coming up period. But now that is over, so that time is over, and their better times for India are already there, in progress, you see. And for others, they have come up, but they have come up in such a way that they are underdeveloped internally, and therefore with underdeveloped state, their coming up in these forms will rebound, and they will again get set back. You see, is bound to. Any excesses are bound to get set back, Pavan. You understand? Excesses. Meena, you understand or no? Any type of excess is bound to result into setback. Excess.
Moderation.
Not ACCSS. EXCESS.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes. You are pakka, huh? You understand, but don't. Powerful. Okay. Why do we still do yagnas if they do no longer work? Well, vyavahar goes on and on and on. You see, there is no question of stopping or beginning. It goes. But effects effects are not there. Effects are not there. Effects are not there. But Yagnas, during the Yagnas, because of that short period and your all other things sat on that, at least for that period you feel better. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And mantras have powers behind them. Mantras. And that is how japa mantra for that Yagnas have formed. So they help in our internal setting of the disorders, internal disorders. They help. But it is difficult for Yagnas in these times for the evil effects protection. They are there, but not that. On the contrary, negative Yagnas are more today. They are more. Do you understand? Because times are negative. Pavan, age 14. How do we know about previous Yagnas if we are yogas? How do we know about previous yogas if they are to be destroyed at the end of the age? Where there is no question of knowing neither previous yogas
Like we know like all about,
or previous lives.
well, yeah, but isn't everything supposed to be destroyed?
No, but because when live absolutes are there, for example, last Lord Mahavir, all the queries and questions were put by all common people and everybody, from highest to the lowest and everybody. And from those question answer sessions, from the absolutes, through their divine speech, all the description of the universe and everything came out. And that is scriptural. Do you understand? So only that is the only source. And when Gnani is there, in that description, you can well understand. Otherwise, scriptural reading is difficult to understand. Very difficult. Even very powerful thinkers or what, they also cannot understand. There are deep meanings in that. Pavan again, why do we exist? Why are we on the earth? Because existential state of the soul is perpetual, and so also of the matter. Both are perpetual in their original qualities. You see, but in migratory state, we are on the earth. And it is only on the earth and human form that you can get released from this migratory state. You see, from migratory state, and get yourself set on your perpetual state, so that with realized your state, real state, the relative migratory state comes to an end. You see, because fresh initiation of karmas has stopped. Do you understand? Unless that initiation of karma gets stopped, you cannot get release and you cannot get to your absoluteness process set onto it. And we are on the earth in human form, and particularly being born in Indian subcontinent, basically and in principle to get released from all this wandering. That is the basic meaning of getting a human life, and the value of human life is that only. As human life, for us to live out the human life is for this purpose and towards this end. Do you understand? Basic. But that is not known. No, that is not known to anybody. No?
These children weren't born in India.
India?
They were not born in India.
No problem. They are Indian origin. They are Indian origin. You see? Seeds are Indian. You see? Oh. Mixing up makes little difference. That is the only thing. Rani, is Atma only in living things? When we go to temple, what is inside the idol? Well, Atma is only in living beings, but in the idols, that is the living beings projected, Atma projected, belief-wise projected feelings that are entering into the idol and received back from the idol. Idol is not a mere idol, because Pratishtha is done in the idol. Pratishtha. And pratishtha is from live beings. Live beings only. You cannot put a statue and statue can do pratishtha. No. Do you follow? It's a pratishtha. It's a science. Idol has a great meaning. Do you follow, Pawan?
Yeah.
Oh. No, this is Rani's question, no?
Yeah.
So, now Pawan, why do we pray to Dada? Because Dada is our own state. And therefore, praying to Dada, we pray to our own self within. And that reaches within. And that gets replied. And you get the effect of it. Do you understand? There has to be a live example for praying to our own selves through the medium of a live example, which is perfect and without ownership, absolutely. When there is something without ownership anywhere, and there won't be any fear or anything to be before that thing. You see? Understand? And in this world, even matter without soul is very rare to find without ownership, and therefore we have to put our footsteps cautiously. We cannot lay hands everywhere and anywhere, right? Even matter also. So how can you find body without ownership? Can you? Why?
Because, well,
We will make you experience that tomorrow. Okay? We will make you experience that. You and Rani both. Okay?
Can we repeat the question?
Okay?
तो मैंने question पूछा है. Can you find the body without ownership?
Anywhere around the world?
well, it'd be like a dead body.
What is the value of a dead body?
Nothing.
Then that which has no value, who will own it? You see? Live body has value, and therefore it is owned. Right?
Yeah.
And even it has value, and with full value, even then if it is not owned, then it is very rare. Huh? Yes, then. Pawan, છોકરાઓનો question જોવાય છે બધા. Now Rani and Pawan both. How is mind formed in your previous life and how does it work? Mind gets formed by opinion expressed. A opinion, as opinion, is within, but it cannot remain like that because it is an agitational state within. An agitational state cannot be stationary and steady at all. And according to the intensity of the agitation of that opinion state within, you see, it comes out through the speech. Do you understand? So opinion gets expressed. Do you understand?
Yeah, but how do you express an opinion? Like you said, the mind is formed by like opinions being expressed, but how do you express them if you don't have a mind?
No question of not having a mind. Without mind, there cannot be anybody.
Yeah, but that's what we're asking. How is it like actually formed? Like
No, that is exactly. Today, your mind is there. This is the result of your past opinion, expressed opinions.
Yeah.
But today, you, that I, Pawan, and as I as Pawan, you have your own opinions. And their opinions get expressed also. Do you understand? Yeah. And there, you own everything in your power as if you are the doer of anything and everything. Very opinion suggests that because you have got power. Is it not so?
Yeah,
And therefore you say, oh, you are so and so, you are so and so, you opine like that. That is as if it is in your hand to run this world and everything. Right?
Yeah.
Opinion state is always like that. You see? So that opinion upon expression is like a arrow from the bow released. An arrow released from the bow cannot come back. So opinion expressed is expressed, and that is a charge, an initiation of the karma and mind level. And it is not a simple mind level opinion only, it is a mind speech body combination, whole complexity in the opinion itself is there, that with that complexity and intensity, the way it got expressed out, that seedling is there, and those bodybuilding blocks, material, get charged and get lost within. You see, so everything, my opinion is the father of mind, and language is the mother, and father and mother together, then and then conceivement takes place. So at mind level one gets conceived as one's own next birth, according to the opinion and expression, all that. Do you understand? And rest of the things happen is as per their vyavasthit order. It is not gossip. It is not gossip. And with all interwovenness and everything together, it gets happened. That is how human life is very important to live by. You see? People don't know, and just they go on living this way, that way, and they invite on themselves. So, understand? And white American girl, good looking, you get attracted, but it is dangerous. Because the water this and water this, the intensity type, everything is so different. If they mix together, a different reaction can take place. Very different.
છોકરાઓ એ કાનૂનની પીટી વખતના છોકરાઓ દાદા સાથે આજીવન એવું કરતા હતા કે મેં શુદ્ધાત્મા નહીં જોવાના કે છે
પણ શુદ્ધાત્મા તો બોડી નથી ને
કે શુદ્ધાત્મા સાથે લગ્ન કરવાના છે કે
હા એ જ ને શુદ્ધાત્મા ક્યાં બોડી છે That is the point. Do you understand? You having on such an evolved state, you see, it is the regression on your part. And again to come back, and because the one who is at that step, along with that to go, and wherever that soul goes, you have to be with that. And again that whole very, very bad situation, complex and tricky. Do you understand? But it is not that easy. These sages and saints, why they go, this is too bad. You have to understand? Huh? So we have to understand the value of our life. That is the point. How is mind in the previous life? Always formation in the previous life and present life is the result of the previous life. It is fruit. It is fruit of the past seedlings. As a plant, human plant, whole life bearing the fruits through mind, intellect, all that, and five senses all completely falling out. It is nothing but a falling out phase mind. How do you increase your alertness so that you learn to observe thoughts, actions and speech, Gnani? Now you have not to increase the alertness, but you have to live by five Yagnas so that your Jagrati means your realized experience state further progresses and it evolves. Your light opens out more and more. Prajna has already opened out within you, and that Prajna is the guiding light of the pure soul that guides you in every activity of their life. And when whatever thing happens, just for some time you still sit with closed eyes and try to be on Agnya, and you immediately come, you will get solution and all that. You will get. It may take little time according to karma, but it will. Just reflect on it. Agnya. Relative real, basically. Basically relative real. And Rani has number one file, that's all, basically. And with Rani has basic number one file and focused file, under your pure soul vision and prajna supervision, understand? Any situation will get resolved. No. This is 9. And last page. Questions. This is Meena Anant. Yours. If God is everywhere, why do we go to the temple and pujas? So long as we have not realized God within ourselves, we have to go to mandir and everywhere for pujas. Otherwise, we'll go astray, and whatever life and all the good circumstances that we have got, they can be at a loss. That is the reason. But once you realize God within you, then your very body, and you visualize God in every body. So for you, all life forms are temples. In you, with you, vision wise, huh? You have not to tell others that this is temple, no, but you understand. Do you follow? But till that you have to. Because God is formless. And unless you have realized the formless state of your God with full attributes, come totally separate from the body and body attributes, totally. Understand? Testers experienced. You follow? Yeah. That is, unless you have visualized your own Godhood state, which is formless, you as formless God, you cannot visualize gods in others, everybody's as formless God with informed bodies. Understand? Yeah. And till that time, you have to go to temple to have darshan of a form or idol form God, with the ultimate end to realize our formless state of the God. You see, formless means amurta, and form means murta. Murta means murti in Veda. Understand? Yeah. How do you achieve a pure soul? One cannot achieve a pure soul by oneself when one is not a realized state as pure soul. Because body belief wise, achieving the state of pure soul is like spinning the wheel ke શું કહે છે? Like that. You can't get anything. You see? One thing is there. Out of positive activities, you accumulate good karmas, punya. But negative, that. So it's a mixture of papa, punya, continuously process going on. You see? So one who is free from all the body qualities, effects, as pure soul and realized state and emancipated, he as a free state, such a state can make you free from the bondages of the body and make you realize your free state as God. Understand? Yeah. One who is bonded by himself cannot make himself free. How? The bonded state. One who is free, we can request him, please release me from this bondage, like that. How does one deal with anger? Well, when one is name-bearer self-wise, how can he deal with the anger? It's difficult. There are various ways and means, but they are superfluous. These are, but unless mind gets contained, anger, pride, you see, and deceit and attachment cannot be contained. The moment mind gets contained, everything gets contained. And then anger means krodha and gussa. In your, what do you say? Kopam. Yeah. No, krodha and kopam are different.
Same.
In your language.
Kop is krodha.
Kop is krodha. And gussa we call it. Gussa means garam thai jao, to become very hot and
bad temper.
Bad temper. And now kopa is different. Kop is the attacking type, and hot molecules that erupt of the discharging karmas, that is different. To be one with that is kopa, but in a disordered state is not so. This is the difference. You see? So when you say हमें क्रोध आता है, कोप आता है, आपको कोप नहीं आता, आपको तो discharging karma ka at that particular moment it erupts. These knots are there in body. Full body is full of knots. Those knots erupt at particular perfect timed state that just like a firework, that thing you ignite and works like that. So it springs up. And hot molecules just sprout. And they make you hot and make others feel the heat of it also. Right? Yes, and if you are cool, others will not feel it. How does one know? How do impure thoughts come from? Well, thoughts are thoughts. That's all. But because of the ignorance and according to the accumulation of the mixture of punya and pap types. So when timing of punya is there, punya type thoughts erupt, and time of pap is there, pap type of thought erupts. This is a process, continuous process. It's a discharging process. Nobody can stop it. It's difficult. You see? But after your separation, you will be the viewing and knowing of such thoughts. Do you understand? So as viewer, your vision, with your divine vision, you will view your own thoughts as, oh, these thoughts of not of liking nature. And this is liking. You will separately see. And yet, you will not have effect of that thought. Even if hot molecules erupt, you will see them. You see? The way you see a burning fire, and these eyes see the fire, and this is the vision only, nothing more. And because it is a vision means light, and because of the light of the eyes, you see that fire. Eyes, that light, eyes do not go out and they get burned. No, it's light, connecting thing, view, vision. So by your divine vision, seeing the thoughts and all these things, this anger, you will be just a knower and seer. You see? Yeah. And your state will be dispassionate. It won't be there. Because opinion wise you will be released from that. Do you understand? It will be discharging thing. What is thoughts come from the knots? I told you, no? Knots. Body knots of the previous karmas, and the body is full of knots. So it continues, goes on getting erupted. You understand? Actually, mind is physical and whole body is full of knots, and at proper time, as we breathe in, the breathed air gets fractionated within, and the physical part of it that gets touched to the mind, and the moment it touches the mind there inside, mind gets activated. So mind activation process is through Vayu, Pran. You understand? Pranis. And this was by yogis practicing to control mind. They found somewhat this and tried to control mind by controlling the prana, pranayam, and all that exercises, yogic exercise developed from that. You understand? And yogi. Patanjali Yoga is based on that whole thing. You see? We have got whole Patanjali Yoga before us totally. But
control
if you
the mind and thought through the breathing process.
Yes, they can't try to control. So it's a pranayam process. So the moment, for the time for which you keep the mind untouched by that prana, that mind is silent. It is unactivated. You see, that is the process. And from that they went and they tried to do all the thing and Brahmarandra. But if they don't know the process of coming down, then difficult. Very difficult. Chalo. Ram, that is last now, huh? The mummy kaise pasu jammanu kare tho karwano. What is the significance of all the rituals and yagnas, etc. that we do? Well, rituals and yagnas are helpful in samsara, but not in moksha. In moksha there is no relevance or no recognition. But ritualistically, Traditionally, what are they? We see it as Sambhav Nikal only, that's all. Is Sambhav Nikal. But we, with our own Ajna and all that, we definitely pray to deities. It does not stop. It is there. After all, Shuddhatma, with Shuddhatma vision, you see Shuddhatma in everything, even in deities also. You see? You, by realization, you will come to accept the Vyavhar, Satta of each and every living form. And you will have realized your own real self, and with such a realized state, you will know and understand such a all-powerful state, omnipower, absolute state in every such forms. Vyavhar, you will accept everybody. At the same time, you will understand the total absoluteness of the soul in within. You understand? I will tell you in Hindi, सभी लोगों की व्यवहार सत्ता मान्य करके उनके अंदर विराजमान सर्वसत्ताधीश को पहचान कर लेनी है. तो सबकी व्यवहार सत्ता मान्य करके की तो पीछे उसमें कोई ऑडिट ही नहीं बाकी रहा. किसी से कॉरल बाकी नहीं रही, किसी से झगड़ा नहीं, तो पीछे पीस हो जाएगी टोटली. यू सी, यू एक्सेप्ट everybody व्यवहार. You see that? चलो. Last question, Ram. What is the purpose of the soul and why do we need to go moksha? Soul has no purpose, body has purpose. You see? And soul does not go to moksha. Body, it is the moksha that happens is to body, not to soul. Only egoism gets nirvana, not the soul. Do you understand? Why, Pawan?
I thought the body didn't have anything to do with moksha.
No, body has everything to do with the moksha. It is the body. Body means egoism. It is egoism that gets born and it is egoism that dies. And therefore, that egoism getting released is getting into its onto its own material form in its eternal state. On this, understand?
Not the physical body, not the structure,
but
yes. The ego within.
Ego. So, and their body then goes away. When root is gone, tree falls. It is the taproot that is responsible for the whole tree to stand upright. The moment taproot, then tree is standing gradually. Chalo, Jai Satchidananda.